Good morning. Today we are going to study about our third part of our second chapter, cell clusters. We have studied about what all things we have studied about the different types of animal tissues. Is it? Last class we have studied about the different kinds of animal tissues and what are the different types of cells present in our body. All these things we have studied. So just we can have a preview about our previous class. After that, we can start the new topics of today. Okay. So cells, we have studied. Our body is made up of cells. Cells are the structural, basic structural and functional unit of our all organism. Is it? Then there are about 200 different types of cells present in our body. Is it? And in that we have studied about nervous cells, muscle cell, blood cell. All these are the different types of cells present in our body. And in that we have studied about the zygote. Zygote is the single cell from which we have our body is developed. And then we have studied about stem cells. Is it? Stem cells are the specialized cells which can be transformed into any kind of cells. And the desired cell, we can develop desired cell from the stem cell. Is it? All these things we have studied in the last class. Then we have studied about the tissues. What are tissues? Tissues are a group of cells that have a common origin and will have a specific function. They perform a specific function. They are called tissues. So tissues are a group of cells that have a common origin and performs a specific function. It's called tissues. And we have studied about the animal tissues. Which are the animal tissues? There are 4 different kinds of animal tissues. Which are the 4 different kinds of animal tissues? Epithelial tissue, then nervous tissue, muscular tissue, and connective tissue. These are the 4 different types of animal tissues. Epithelial tissues covers and protects our body, is it? And it produces secretions. Epithelial tissue produces some secretions also. It lines the epithelial tissue, lines the digestive tract. And our skin is made up of epithelial tissue. This is about the epithelial tissue. Then nervous tissue controls and coordinates our activities. The nervous tissue can send the messages to the brain about the things that is happening around us. Is it? If you are touching an object, we have touched on that object, that message is transported through the nervous tissue to the brain. So it controls and coordinates, and it gives the response according to the stimulus. Then next about the muscular tissue. Muscular tissue, it has the capacity to contract and relax. This contraction and relaxation is the peculiarity of the muscular tissue, and muscular tissue helps in the body movement. Then last is the connective tissue. Connective tissue, as its name indicates, it connects the different types of tissues, is it? And blood is the fluid connective tissue present in our body. So what is the fluid connective tissue present in our body? Blood is the fluid connective tissue present in our body. Then about the plant tissues, there are plant tissue consists of the meristematic tissue and permanent tissue. For 2 different types of tissues, the main 2 different types is meristematic tissue and permanent tissue. Meristematic tissue helps the plant to grow throughout the life. Meristematic tissue undergoes repeated division and helps in the growth of the plant. Meristematic tissue is present in the tip of the stem and root. So if a question comes, what is the reason why plants grows throughout their life? Because of the presence of the meristematic tissues. Okay. Then about the permanent tissue. Permanent tissue is divided into 2, that is simple permanent tissue and complex permanent tissue. Okay, permanent tissues are divided into 2, simple permanent tissue and complex permanent tissue. Simple permanent tissue consists of the parenchyma, collenchyma, and sclerenchyma. Is it? A simple permanent tissue consists of 3 types of cells: parenchyma, collenchyma, and sclerenchyma. Parenchyma is made up of soft cells and thin soft cells, and they are seen in the soft part of the plant. parenchyma helps in photosynthesis and storage of food. Then parenchyma consists of cells that is very thin walled. And in the case of collenchyma, next about the after parenchyma comes the collenchyma. Collenchyma is thick only at the collenchyma is thick only at the corners of the cell. So the corners of the cell is thick in the case of collenchyma. And about the sclerenchyma, it's uniformly thick all over the part. Sclerenchyma is uniformly thick all over the part. Collenchyma helps the plant, provides flexibility to the plant. And sclerenchyma is consists of the thick walled cells. It's uniformly thick all over the cell wall. Then about the complex tissues. Complex tissue, there are two types of complex tissue, that is xylem and phloem. Now we can see about the complex tissue, xylem and phloem. Okay. So here you can see complex tissues are also known as vascular tissues. Vascular tissue supports the plant body and transports water and nutrients throughout the plant. And so vascular tissue is also known as complex tissue. Vascular tissue supports the plant body and transports water and nutrients throughout the plant. The two kinds of vascular tissue or complex tissue are xylem, a water conducting tissue, and phloem, a tissue that carries dissolved food. So there are two kinds of tissue, complex tissue, that is the xylem and phloem. Xylem carries water and phloem carries dissolved food. Both xylem and phloem consist of long, slender cells that connect almost like sections of pipe. So it's like as the section of pipe, it is connecting almost all the cells, and it is a long and slender shaped cells. That is xylem and phloem. Different types of xylem and phloem are also present inside the plant. So these are the two types of vascular tissue. So now you can watch a video regarding the plant tissues.
An abundance of chloroplasts. So chloroplasts absorb sunlight and together with carbon dioxide from the air and water from the roots manufacture food by the process of photosynthesis. Now, this is a huge long tree. So how is the water that is absorbed by the roots is getting transported upwards to the leaves? Or the food that is manufactured in the leaves coming down to the roots? Well, that is because of the presence of two pipelines in the plant. The first pipeline is the water pipeline and is known as the xylem. So this is the xylem, which is the water pipeline of the plant, and it conducts unidirectionally or in one direction from the root to the leaves. So xylem conducts water from the root to the leaves. Now there is the second pipeline that is present in the plants. It is known as the phloem. Phloem is the food pipeline of the plant. It conducts food downwards from the leaves to the root. Also, it conducts or transports this food from the leaf to the upward portion of the plant, which is situated above that leaf. So the xylem and the phloem together forms the conducting tissue system of the plant. So the phloem operates bidirectionally, that is in two directions. It can transport food downwards from the leaf to the roots and also upwards. So let us see how that is happening. Now consider this leaf. This leaf is bright green in color, which indicates the presence of an abundance amount of chloroplast. So this green leaf can manufacture food by the process of photosynthesis. Now notice this leaf. This leaf does not have an abundance amount of chloroplast. See, it is almost whitish green in color. So it is manufacturing food, but in a very small amount. And all this food is being utilized by this leaf in the growth. But the leaf is growing, it requires a lot of energy. So the amount of food that this leaf is preparing is not enough. So the food prepared by this leaf gets transported upwards to this leaf, and it also gets transported downwards to the root, since the entire plant requires food to stay alive. So we've studied about the three kinds of permanent tissues: the parenchyma tissue, the collenchyma tissue, and the sclerenchyma tissue. Now all these three tissues are permanent tissues, which means that they cannot divide and they cannot grow any further. Now notice one thing: in the parenchyma tissue, all the cells that make up the parenchyma tissue, they have a thin wall, they are oval in shape, and there are spaces in between two cells. Similarly, for the collenchyma tissue and the sclerenchyma tissue, both of them are made up of single kind of cells. See, the collenchyma tissue is made up of the collenchyma cells, cells with the thickened walls mostly towards the corners, and the sclerenchyma tissue is also made of sclerenchyma cells, the cells which have highly lignified and thickened cell walls. So all these three tissues consists of a single cell, and hence these tissues are known as simple tissue. Now the xylem and the phloem, which forms the conducting system, the conducting tissue system of the plant, they do not contain one kind of cell. They contain two kinds of cell. They are made of parenchyma cells and sclerenchyma cells. Since there are more than one kind of cells, they no longer remain a simple tissue. They form a complex tissue. So the xylem and the phloem is made up of parenchyma cells and sclerenchyma cells, which forms a complex tissue. So permanent tissue can be divided into two categories: simple permanent tissue and complex permanent tissue. Now simple permanent tissue can be further divided into three kinds: the parenchyma tissue, the collenchyma tissue, and the sclerenchyma tissue. Now all these three tissues contain one kind of cells, and hence they are simple tissue. But the complex tissue, like the xylem and the phloem, which forms the conducting tissue system of the plant, they are made up of more than one kind of cells. They are made up of parenchyma cells and sclerenchyma cells, and hence they are known as complex tissue.
Now, is it clear for you about the different types of plant tissues, about the divisions of plant tissues? Eh? I think it's clear for you. That is, plant tissue is divided into meristematic tissue and permanent tissue. Meristematic tissue divides continuously and it is present in the stem, tip of the stem and root. Permanent tissues are again divided into two, that is simple permanent tissue and complex tissue. Simple permanent tissue consists of the parenchyma, collenchyma, and sclerenchyma cells, and complex tissue or vascular tissue consists of the xylem and phloem. As it is made up of different kinds of cells, it has got the name complex tissue. Now we can again turn over to our animal tissues. Okay, now we can tell about the animal tissues. That is, if we are taking, I have told you in our body there are about 200 different types of cells are present in our body. And this cells unite together to form what? Tissues. Cells that are having a common origin and specific function is called tissues. And the tissues unite to form the organ. Organs unite to form the organ system. Is it clear for you? So if we are taking a hand, if we are taking a body part, in this hand, what else present? All the different types of cells are present, is it? All these different types of cells unite together and work together for the smooth functioning of our body. And not only this hand, in our different part of our body, different types of cells and tissues, organs and organ systems are functioning together to perform our different functions, is it? So if we are taking our hand, in this hand, what all cells are present? Different types of cells. That is, bone cell is present, is it? Muscle cell is present. Blood cell is present. Then epithelial cell that is present in the skin and covers and protects our body. Connective tissues or cells are present. Blood is a connective, fluid connective tissue. So blood cells, muscle cells, nervous cells are present. So different types of cells are present in each part of our body. And these different types of cells or organ cannot function independently. If they are functioning united, if they are functioning together, only they can, all our physiological functions can be gone smoothly. It's clear for you? So each our part, if we are taking each part of our body, we can see different types of the cells. Now we can just go through about what all organs are present in each organ system. Okay, which are the organs present in each organ system. The organs present in each organ system is, if organ system, circulatory system. If we are taking the circulatory system, in the circulatory system, organs present is heart and blood vessels. Then respiratory system, what are present? Nose, trachea, lungs. These are the organs present in the respiratory system. Then what about the excretory system? Kidney, ureter and urinary bladder. These are the organs present in the excretory system. Then about the nervous system, brain and the nerves are the organs present in the nervous system. The peculiarity is any of the organ can't work independently. If all the organs work together, then only the organ system will be working properly. Then only all the functions perform our body will be going smoothly. Is it clear for you? So you have seen about the different organ systems and the organs present in the body. Now we can see how the cells unite to form tissue. That connection we can see now. Here you can see atom. Atom is the smallest and the simpler molecule. Atom unites to form the molecules. Then molecules unite to form the what? Molecules unite to form the cell organelles. Cell organelles unite to form the cell. If we are taking a cell, different cell organelles are present in that. No, all those cell organelles unite to form the cell. Then cells unite to form the tissues. So a group of cells form the tissues. Then a group of tissues form the organ. So if we are taking an organ, different types of tissues are present in that. Then different types of organs constitute to form the organ system. Different organ systems, and that is different types of organ systems now we have gone through. All those organ systems combine together to form the organism. The organisms combine together to form the population. Is it clear for you? Then the populations combine together to form the community. So starting from the atom, we are reaching the community. Atom combine to form a group of atoms form the molecules. Molecules combine to form cell organelles. A group of cell organelles combine to form the cell. A group of cell combine together to form the tissue. Tissues combine together to form the organ, and organs combine together to form the organ system. Different organ systems work together to form the organism. Then organisms combine together, different organisms combine together to form the population, and the population that is combined together the community, and it is forming different kinds of organisms is forming the community. Is it clear for you? So cells are the basic unit, and this cells combine together to form the tissues, and tissues combine together to form the organ system, then organism. Likewise, it is going and it is finally reaching the community. How it is finally reaching the community? Community consists of different kinds of organisms. Is it clear for you? So the portions of our chapter is over. In this chapter, we have studied about the different types of the plant tissues and animal tissues, and what are the different kinds of cell. All these things we have studied in this chapter. If you are having any doubt regarding our chapter, we can clear it through the WhatsApp. Okay, notes I will be giving through the WhatsApp. If you have any doubt, you can ask me personally. I think all of you understood the chapter cell clusters. Okay, thank you.